Ever been about to hit buy now online and suddenly think, wait, is this even halal?
Happens to the best of us.
Well, that's what sparked today's deep dive. Islamic finance, specifically those sale contracts, bay. And we've got Aisha with us, amazing entrepreneur, really wants to demystify it all.
And it's so relevant, even if you're not, deep into Islamic law. These trade principles, they've been huge for centuries.
Right. So we're not talking ancient history here. This stuff matters. And Aisha, in this presentation, she breaks bay down, right? First thing, exchange of property for property.
Which, okay, on the surface, sounds kind of basic.
I was going to say, what else is there?
But it goes deeper than just, stuff you can hold. Think paying for an online course.
Oh, okay.
Your money, that's property, obviously. But their knowledge, the expertise they're giving you, Islamic finance considers that property too.
So it's not as simple as, here's an apple, there's your orange.
Exactly. And that actually leads right into Aisha's second big point, mutual consent. Both sides got to be 100% clear, agreeing to this exchange, no pressure, no tricks.
Which, okay, now for the juicy bit, the prohibited stuff, this is where it gets interesting, right?
This is Islamic finance getting specific.
Yeah.
Riba, basically exploitative interest. That's a hard no. Goes against fairness. Someone's always losing out unfairly.
See, I never thought of it that way, but it makes sense. It's about ethics, not just profit at all costs.
Exactly. And then there's gharar, which is all about ambiguity, too much risk, like hidden fees online, unclear descriptions.
Oh, so it does apply to my online shopping.
Big time. Even investments where the outcome is totally unpredictable, almost gambling, which, by the way, also a no-go. That's maysir. Aisha really breaks down how this stuff shows up in our world today, especially online.
It makes you rethink every time you hit agree without reading, huh? Which, speaking of, Aisha talks about the pillars of an actual sale contract. She calls them building blocks of trust.
And we've all been guilty of just clicking through those agreements, right?
Oh, for sure.
But they are contracts, legally binding. Aisha's big on this. Clear offer, that's a jab. And acceptance, the quabul.
Okay, so me hitting confirm purchase, that's my quabul, yeah.
But it's only really valid if the seller was totally upfront, transparent about their side of things, the offer.
Makes you wonder how often we're agreeing to stuff we don't even get. And then she gets into who the actual people involved are, like the contracting parties.
Right, because buying from a name you know versus some drop shipper who might not even know what they're selling. Huge difference. Transparency is key.
And this is where Aisha's examples are so good. She talks about Yusuf, young guy she mentors. He's got this halal cosmetics company.
Love his whole approach. Ingredients all listed out, clear as day, offer samples, so there's no, does this really? And he's upfront about the entire process where he gets his stuff, everything, ethical business practices, everybody wins.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Ethical consumerism meets good old-fashioned values.
Exactly.
Now, Aisha was talking to young entrepreneurs, right? So she had to address the big one, cryptocurrency.
Of course. That's the debate that's just never ending. Even as long as scholars, they can't agree. The core issue, does crypto even count as mal, like property in Islamic law?
Right, because if it's not even property, then...
Exactly. Some say yes, it counts. But then you've got the gharar problem, right? All that crazy speculation, the volatility. Some crypto's notorious for it.
So it's perfect example of these old principles trying to make sense of the brand new stuff, tech that changes every 5 minutes.
Exactly. And honestly, that's just scratching the surface of where Islamic finance is applicable today.
Makes you realize this isn't just some, dusty old book of rules. It's alive,
Right. It's about taking that wisdom, seeing how it applies today. And Aisha gets that. Those real-life stories she uses, remember her friend Lila wanted to buy gold online.
Oh, yeah. What was the takeaway there? I'm drawing a blank.
So Lila, she found this deal, thought it was great. But talking to Aisha, they realized going local, finding an artisan, even if it cost a bit more, way more ethical.
Oh, right, right. Supporting local businesses, knowing where the gold's even from.
And less chance of gharar, that uncertainty we talked about. One purchase, ticking all those ethical boxes.
Okay, now that you put it that way, it's kind of obvious.
And that's the thing about Islamic finance. It's not just don't do this bad thing. It's what's the best way to do this ethically? Aligning your money with your values, basically.
See, this is where I get interested, because anyone can relate to that. Whether you're super religious or not, ethical consumption, responsibility, that's universal.
Exactly. It's about fairness at its core. Not rules for the sake of rules, but making sure everyone benefits,
Right, right. Like Aisha said, it's about a fair marketplace for everyone. Though, gotta admit, even I thought I had riba figured out. Then she used that car dealership example.
Oh, yeah, that one gets everybody. The classic, pay cash now or finance it, slightly higher price tag over time.
And I always thought, well, that extra cost, that's just how financing IS.
But here's the thing. Islamic finance, they might see that as two separate things happening. You've got the car sale itself, then you've got a loan on top of it. Bundle them together, suddenly it's riba territory.
See, that I never realized. So what's the workaround then?
Okay, so this is where you get those Islamic structures, murabaha, musharaka, mutanakisa. Don't worry about the jargon. The point is they're set up ethically from the get-go.
So it's not just saying no to how everyone else does it. It's having an alternative ready to go.
Exactly. And more people are paying attention, not just, Muslim communities, but anyone who cares about where their money is going, what it supports.
Okay, that's what I like to hear, like real change happening.
Right. And Aisha, people like her, they're the ones leading it, proving this isn't just theory. It's real solutions for a better way of doing things.
It's kind of amazing, right? Like these ideas, they're old, but it feels like they're being rediscovered,
That's because deep down it's about stuff we all get. Fairness, doing things the right way, it resonates.
Totally. It's not about checking off boxes. It's that deeper level, being thoughtful about your money, where it goes.
Which, let's be real, we could all use a bit more of in the world.
100%. So wrapping up with Aisha here, it makes you think, what if everyone thought like this about their finances?
Now, there's a question. The ripple effect, right? Not just businesses, but whole communities, even globally. What if ethics were just as important as the bottom line?
It's like she said, fairer marketplace for everybody, and you can tell. She means it. It's contagious.
Oh, yeah, she's the real deal. Young people change the game. I love to see it.
So anyone listening, if they want to dive deeper, where would you point them? Besides this deep dive, obviously.
Well, Aisha's whole presentation is online. Definitely check it out. We'll link it in the show notes. And if you want to get into the nitty-gritty, there's a book, Islamic Commercial Law, by Mohammed Yusuf Salim. That's the AE Guide.
And of course, FinFormed, tons of resources there, articles, videos, even courses all about Islamic finance. We'll link that too, so don't worry.
Great place to start, for sure.
Well, I know what I'm reading this weekend. This was fantastic. Islamic sale contracts, wow. We covered the basics, how it applies today, even the tricky stuff, like crypto.
Fascinating stuff. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And listeners, one last thought. Next time you're making the money decision, big or small, take that extra second. What would Aisha do? Ask yourself that.
She'd be proud of it.
On that note, this has been The Deep Dive. Thanks for listening, and keep those transactions ethical out there.